Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my dark knights. This is the Batbran, and I am here to announce the start of this brand new Yu-Gi-Oh series that I'm going to start doing. It is the Yu-Gi-Oh anime series, basically the Yu-Gi-Oh anime tournament anime character tournament. Basically the king of games. I'm still trying to hash out what the title, but the title of this series is for sure the anime, the anime tournament series. And how it will work is we will find out the best character from each series. Was it like Yugi with his cheating? Was it Joey with his luck? Was it Bandit Keith with his cheating and pulling guns out on people? Who knows? Or was it Kaiba that had the most money? Or was it Pegasus that should have won because, or he also cheated because he looked at cards? We're going to find that out. And how we're going to find that out, I need the help of you people. Yes, my friends, and several other people who want to be in this. All you have to do is go down the comments down below. Let me know a character you want to play in this tournament. You will have to have a PlayStation because, of course, I am hoping to commentate on the matches that I am not there for, and we will stream the rounds, each rounds of the tournament. This is starting with Duelist Kingdom. Now, Duelist Kingdom, it was not a big series. It is not going to be a big tournament. So it is going to be single elimination. We will most likely do it in match format. So best 2 out of 3 format. And basically, some of these people were kind of difficult to put in. I only put in characters who have dueled in that season. So, if they have not dueled in that season, they don't get to. So, Yugimoto, the little Yugi, he didn't have his own deck. So, Yami Yugi and Yugi are one person, basically. Para and Dox, they are both their own person in here. You guys will see once I show off the bracket. But I do like how the bracket turned out. I randomized it. The only people who have a bye, you guys will see. It may surprise you. I was thinking about doing Pegasus as a bye and different stuff like that, but I decided to give the 2 top people in our thing, both Yami Yugi and Seto freaking Kaiba. So those guys will have buys in the first round, and we'll have 2 play-in games. Now, the rankings do not matter at all. These are just matchups that I randomize and that just fit perfectly. If you want any of these people, let me know. Also, their decks, going over the decks. They have to be cards that they used in that season of the anime. So, no Pot of Greed, because no one used Pot of Greed in Duelist Kingdom. But you can use some support cards that did come out later. So, like for Dark Magician, you can play the Dark Magician. You can play, Dark Magic Attack. You can play Thousand Knives. You can play Magical Box or Mystic Box. You can play Magical Hats. You can play basically anything that is older that would be allowed to be played, and I will inspect the decks to make sure they are legal, and all that. And the same thing with, Blue Eyes. Anything of the newer stuff is not allowed, but you are allowed to play, Silver's Cry. That is fine. Another card you're allowed to play, of course, is you're just not allowed to play any of the tuners, Maiden with Eyes of Blue or anything like that. So this is just a nostalgia series to make it as close to the original anime as possible, but you can play some stuff that they wouldn't normally play. But yeah, this is going to be a great series, guys. I'm super excited how this is going to go. We're going to go over the matchups, and we're also going to go over the people that are in this tournament. Starting with, of course, Yami Yugi and Yugi Moto. They are one in the same. So basically, their deck lists will have the basic one that everyone knows and loves. And basically, any card they used from up till after Duelist Kingdom is fine. Kaiba, same thing. Kaiba, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is fine. There is some other cards that you can play, like Shadow Spell and stuff like that. But you can also play Crush Card Virus and Sagi the Dark Clown, which is going to be very troublesome for some of these decks in this tournament, because Kaiba having that Crush Card Virus card with his Sagi the Dark Clown. And you can also use Petten, because Petten was right after Duelist Kingdom, and Petten was in the Yu-Gi-Oh! 2000 movie. And in that time, I think at that time when the Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie came out, it was just after Duelist Kingdom. So you are allowed to play Petten. No Blue Eye Shining or anything like that, but you are allowed to play, which that would be too hard to even play anyway. But then next, those are the two guys we have that have buys. In the play-in games, we have one of the Paradox Brothers. So what that entails is the Paradox Brothers obviously will play the same deck, but you could play some different tech choices along with the Paradox Brothers to go along with that. But obviously the Gate Guardian, the Magical Labyrinth is also one of the choices. So basically, one of them will play the pieces of the Gate Guardian, and the other, and just do like a big power deck, and the other one will play the Magical Labyrinth, the Stall, the Shadow Ghoul, Wall Shadow strategy. And Dox plays the Wall Shadow strategy. So Dox is going to play the Labyrinth deck against Solomon Moldo, who is going to play his deck that Yugi used in the very first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is just a normal monsters, Heart of the Underdog deck, and get the pieces of Exodia as quickly as possible, and try and win the game. And that person will go and face Yami Yugi in the first round. And then after that, the other play-in game is Kaiba's younger brother, Mokuba, who his deck is very similar to Moto's. He does have a Heart of the Underdog, a lot of normal summonable monsters. I think the only monster he has that does have an effect is Hain and Man-Eater Bug, I believe. And those are the only two like flip effect monsters or effect monsters that they have. But yeah, and then Para plays the Gate Guardian pieces, so that could be a very good match as well. Then at the top we have Taya with her equip spells and her fairies like Shining Friendship, stuff like that. You can play United We Stand. Mage Power is okay as well. Against Mako Tsunami. Now with Mako Tsunami, there is a lot of new Umi support. What I'm going to say with that, not to make it overpowered for Mako, you're allowed to use the monsters. So you're allowed to use the Kairyu-Shin, retrain, one of each. One of each of the Kairyu-Shin, the Doom Kraken, and the Jellyfish. And then the rest is just, you're not allowed to use Torrential Tribute, obviously, because that came out in Battle City. But you can use other, like, water support as well. But you just can't use that. You can use, like, Kairyu-Shin's Dark Reef or whatever it's called as well. But I will inspect these decks just to be sure. And also, if you want these people, let me know down below as well. Of course, I'm going to be playing in this tournament. I think if each person has at least 2 characters, we should be good. And I'll get with my friends and we will draft these, different characters they will use as well. Make sure to comment and let me know. Then next we have Panic, who should be lower ranked in this, but he is playing Bandit Keith. Bandit Keith you are allowed to play Heavy Metal Raiders in this deck, because it supports the Dark Machines, and it also like you can play Proton Blast because it has Barrel Dragon on it. You can play that, and then you can also play the Desperado Barrel Dragon as well. But that's it. You cannot play the BM4 Blast Spider. You cannot play Blast Sphere. I don't think Blast Sphere was in Duelist Kingdom. I'm almost pretty sure. No, Blast Sphere was in Duelist Kingdom because I'll have to look it back because I'm almost pretty sure Blast Sphere attached itself to Red Eyes, blew up Red Eyes against Joey, and then he used Grave Robber to use Time Machine and bring back Time Machine, and then bring it back. Yeah. So you can use Blast Spheres. You can use Blast Spheres, and you can use like the Launcher Spiders, the Pendulum Machine, stuff like that. But and Mechanical Chaser you cannot use because he did not use that till Battle City, which he can play that later. So and then Panics plays Yellow Luster Shield and plays the Castle of Dark Illusions, and it just has a really bad deck and is just centered around just really good defense position monsters. And then of course he has the Reaper of the Cards, but when your best monster is the King of Yami Makai, I mean, it's not exactly best. Bandit Keith is going to absolutely crush him. And then next we have a Yami Bakura, which is my character I am playing, and Bones. Bones is allowed to play, of course, triple Call of the Haunted, his Pumpkin, his Dragon Zombie, his Armored Zombie, and his Crash Clown, also the Clown Zombie. So he's allowed to play those, and he can also play like different cards that do support zombies. Like he can play Haunted Zombies, which is a card that I'm okay with you playing. I'm a card like Teuton Mask, Pyramid Turtle is okay, but because you're not playing any other stuff that can be played in it. And then Yami Bakura, you just can't play Destiny Board and Dark Necrofear. But other than that, Bakura can play Change of Heart. Bakura can play Morphing Jar, Lady of Faith, like Morphing Jar, Lady of Faith, triple Man-Eating Bug or Man-Eater Bug. Just can just play like a stall burn deck, and that is all legal. But Bakura is definitely one of my two characters. The other character, like, that I don't care about. But the only one that is locked in is Bakura. Then next we have Mai versus Rex Raptor. Mai is allowed to use all of her Harpy Ladies. You are allowed to use Harpy Lady 1, 2, and 3, and Cyber Harpy Lady, and Harpy. You just can't use the newer ones. You can't use the Channeler, you can't use Perfumer, you can't use Hunting Ground, you can't use Queen, obviously, or Baby Dragon. But you can use Harpy's Pet Dragon. You can use triple Elegant Egotist. You can use Mirror Wall. You can use a lot of good cards that support those cards as well. And you can also play like Birdface and stuff like that. So Mai's going to be a very good competitor, but she faces Rex Raptor, who, to up Rex Raptor a little bit because his deck was a little mishmash of like was dinosaurs and then wasn't dinosaurs, and like he had the Serpent Night Dragon and the Red Eyes Black Dragon, which he will be allowed to have one of in the deck along with Serpent Night Dragon. Those are just beaters in this deck. What I'm allowing him to use is like Evolution Pill, and like Baby Sarasaurus, and just little dinosaurs that can help make the deck a little better, just to make it more viable and stuff that I would feel like just to push it up a little bit so it's evened. And then next we have Joey Wheeler versus Pegasus. Joey Wheeler obviously is going to play all his luck-based cards, as well as Grave Robber and Baby Dragon and Swamp Battle Guard battle or all the two battle guards he has, Flaming Swordsman and um which I'm pretty sure like um he would have to play. I think there's a Flame Swordsman normal monster. I'm not entirely sure, but you can play the Guiltia, the Soul Spear, which is allowed in Master Duel. This is all taking place in Master Duel, by the way. So you're allowed to play that, and he is allowed to play Red Eyes. He is allowed to play basically any cards that he did use in the anime as well. And then, of course, Pegasus. Pegasus is interesting because his tunes are allowed. Most of them are allowed, but in the Pegasus, like with the Pegasus lore, uh, in that series, he only used select few tunes because some of them didn't exist. So you can't use Tune Kingdom, obviously. You can't use Tune Dark Magician, Tune Blackluster Soldier, Tune Dark Magician Girl, or Tune Ancient Gear Golem and Tune Cyber Dragon. But you can use Tune Mass Sorcerer. You're allowed to use Tune Mass Sorcerer. Tune Goblin Attack Force. I would not allow it. I would say that came out um, after Duelist Kingdom. So none of that. You would play the Toon Blue Eyes, the Toon Mermaid, the Manga Rioran, the regular Rioran, the Dark Rabbit is allowed. Toon Alligator is allowed, even though it's technically not a Toon. Toon Summon Skull. Um, and then, of course, you can play Relinquish, but you can also play some of the newer support for Relinquish, like Relinquish Fusion, Millennium Eyes Relinquished, and the three-headed spellcaster one that he used, the retrain of that, plus the Thousand Eyes Idol, and Jigen Bakudan you can play as well. So you're allowed to play like a lot of those cards as well. And like you can play Mimicat. Like some of the support cards you can play. You can play Mimicat, you can play Comic Hand, you can play Toon Page Flip, and I would say you're allowed to play Toon Bookmark as well. But I would say just more or less you just can't play Toon Book. Like that is debatable. I mean, I will have to see what Toon Bookmark does, but I would say you would be able to use it just to make it balanced. We'll see what we can do. And then the last match is Weevil Underwood versus the Duel Ghost. If you don't remember, there was a ghoul version of Kaiba walking around, and he basically used his old deck, the old Kaiba deck that he used in episode 1, and he just used that by getting his blue eyes out as quickly as possible, and just stuff like that. So you run 3 ancient rules and 3 blue eyes white dragon, and Duel Ghost is kind of one of the worst duelists in the room right now, along with Panic. But he faces Weevil, who Weevil has a bunch of normal insects, a bunch of normal monster insects, and then the perfectly ultimate great moth and stuff like that. It's going to be very difficult to get out. So, to help balance that a little bit, I'm allowing him to use Goki Pole and Giant Ballpark, because Giant Ballpark gives him synergy. It also gives him popping that he can use, which his deck does not have with any of the normal insects. They're just normal insects. He can't do anything with it. And I'm also allowing him to use Corrosive Scales, because it does reference the anime. It shows that on there. I'm contemplating if I'll let him use Verdant Sanctuary, but he is allowed to use Insect Cannon with armor and like those equipped spells and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the tournament. I'm going to go ahead and save this tournament, and this is going to be great, ladies and gentlemen. The only guy that is off limit so far is Bakura, and I'm pretty sure Pegasus is going to be played by Ryan, my friend who I did a stream with last night. So he will be Pegasus, but other than that, everyone else is up for grabs. So this goes out to all my friends. Gore Pork, my friend, I don't know what he goes on. Zero Magnum. Then, which I did a duel with him on his channel, by the way, back in the day. Davey, SHE Davey, Realmaster DJ, Pastel, and also if anyone else wants to be in this, you can as well. I'm sure some people will be okay with just having one character. That is fine, but just to help with mine, I am going to use two to help this go easier on me. But yeah, we're going to have a great duel. We're going to have a great all-around games, I'm hoping. And this will not come till probably the new year. So you'll see that. Plus, you'll also see the Soul Link with me and DJ going up as well. We've been recording that nonstop. That will be up starting in January as well, starting on his channel. So check that out. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you all did enjoy, feel free, go ahead, hit that like button. Greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see you in Duelist Kingdom. Stay awesome, my Dark Knights.